Oke, tes satu dua, tes, tes, tes. Yo, welcome, welcome guys, welcome, welcome ya. Kita lanjut, ya guys ya. Kita lanjut.
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Wait. Wait ya guys ya. Okay.
I'm a Finn, so I was born in Finland and have lived here all my life. At the same time, I've been pretty much raised with American popular culture, comic books, TV, movies, books. And it is a huge part of the inspiration, but it's always felt like, you know, this kind of a unique perspective of using that inspiration, but being outside and looking in, and that gives us a unique perspective.
Okay. Piketemos.
Easy there, boy.
What?
I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Miss Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton. Okay, boy. We're almost done here.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing, listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha-ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
I'd come here to rent a cabin, where I could wait till midnight.
Kita kemana? Kemana? Kemana, Cok? Tidak tahu kemana nih.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds. That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al?
Sorry.
We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry! They'll kill her!
This. What the?
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Obviously, being a Finn and having lived here all my life, the culture is very much part of me, and you know, can't help but to bring in elements of it into my writing. And I think that that can be seen in the stories of Remedy games, even starting from the original Max Payne. I mean, there was this huge winter storm that was part of the setting of that game. And it's in other games as well.
Okay.
I'll wait here, Al. I'll hold down the fort. I'll be with you in spirit every step of the way, Al. Locking the door now.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. It wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Okay.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
What the heck?
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deer Fest plan like? My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
This room.
No plan, really. Yeah.
What the? Okay. Oke. Kosong.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs.
What the heck?
Tonight's episode.
Kita ke mana? Apaan tuh? Anjing.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! Oh God! I'm coming! Please, help me!
Right.
Help me! Help! Help me! Can you hear me? Anyone! Please help! Help me!
What the?
Hello?
Hello.
Back here! I'm back here! Hey! Please
What?
help
What?
me!
What? What are
Mr. Wake?
Mr. Wake.
Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office.
Hilang.
Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
What? Key.
Finnish culture, Finnish
The only way to make
landscape,
sure that Rusty was
the
safe
nature,
was to get the power
I
running
feel
and
has
the lights
been
back on.
one way or the other a part of all of Remedy game stories. In Alan Wake, obviously, we have light and dark in a strong role, and if we think about the seasons in Finland and the kind of the schizophrenic nature of winters being very dark and summers being all sunshine way into the night, there is an echo of that in the themes of light and dark. The Pacific Northwest landscape, everything is huge, but in Finland, the nature is much more modest. But beyond that, I feel that there are a lot of similarities in the landscape of it, and also Finland has a lot of small towns with larger than life quirky characters, and you know, having spent all of my childhood summers in the countryside and in small town settings, it certainly is something that resonates and feels like a part of what should be in this story.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
What the?
Rusty! The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Just need hunting licenses.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Please don't feed the animals.
Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park
Fishing.
license. Obey
The park rangers. Instructions.
at all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Never.
You approach closer than 100 yards.
Two bears and wolves never approached. Any other
Wildlife
closer than
25 yards.
pets must be leashed.
At all times.
Never leave your
And unattended.
It is
Against the law.
to remove any
Natural objects
or historical artifacts from the park.
grounds.
This includes even you make or even simple berries.
Ow! What the?
Still on the Finnish culture, I mentioned the horror movie screenplay I wrote, Undertow, and Anderson Brothers, Tor and Odin being a part of that already. Now, that story is set in Finland, and yet we have Tor and Odin as Swedish-speaking Finns in there. Now, we never go into details in Alan Wake on their background, but they just might be Swedes, or they could actually be Finnish Swedes.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Habis peluru, cok. Habis peluru, cok. Gimana ini habis peluru? Goblok.
You can see them too?
Hell, of course I see him. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name.
So,
we were headed in the direction of
I
Lover's
feel
Peak.
that Finnish
There was
culture
no way
will
this was a
be,
coincidence.
in one
He
way or
was
the
the
other,
kidnapper.
present in all the stories I'll be writing. And in fact, in Control, if we go beyond Alan Wake, we have Ahti, the strange janitor character who definitely has a Finnish background, and even a Finnish tango as part of it.
I see him. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak.
I feel that Finnish culture will be, in one way or the other, present in all the stories I'll be writing. And in fact, in Control, if we go beyond Alan Wake, we have Ahti, the strange janitor character who definitely has a Finnish background, and even a Finnish tango as part of it.
Lover's Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it. A little longer. Scare them off. Get some light on those bastards. That'll keep them off us. Oh, just a little longer. I almost got it. Okay, it's open. Move it or lose it. I already died! Oh, you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe. Better get ready. They'll be on us soon. This is it, Wake. The Last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations.
You're gonna give me the manuscript or you'll be sorry! No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here!
He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give
So
him.
staying with
I had to
Ahti,
get back
and this is a
and
huge
figure
spoiler.
out my next
In Control's AWE DLC, if you do all the Ahti missions, you'll get a postcard from him. And there he is, at home and happy on the porch of his sauna. And the title
Pronto.
places him in the Washington state. So it is this big loop, and it all comes back to Alan Wake.
What the hell?
Rusty had warned me about these traps. It hurt like hell. I was stuck. I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here, but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
Tangga.
Beware of Widowmakers! Hazardous occupation.
of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What, are we crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on. I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods. I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry faster, and the headlights were a welcome bonus. I had to find the key to the garage. I needed the garage key to get to the car. The garage key had to be somewhere nearby.
It's not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a life of its own. You can create it, handle things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be careful.
flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing. It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
Not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me?
Yes, I get you.
Barry had talked about birds over the phone.
I am so glad you're here. A couple of them got in here before I blocked the chimney. This isn't normal. These birds are weird. Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnappers to... Previously on Alan Wake. Anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her!
You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes. How the hell did she get her hands on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you you were too hard on her.
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and, get this, most of this stuff takes place around Cauldron Lake.
Well, you ain't wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island...
As a writer, when I'm working on a story, I do like a bit of a guiding structure for it. I mean, there are obviously very different story structures out there, you know. Your basic 3 acts. Structure, hero's journey, and all. And I kind of use some of these as a reminder to myself that whenever I kind of run into a problem in the story, then I glance back at these structures if there is any help to be offered.
Just follow me. It's not far.
Kenapa ini settingannya, Cok?
Yeah, how about that? It was there in the morning, as if it had fallen from the sky. But it would take a tornado to lift something like that.
Kenapa ini, Cok?
We're damn lucky it didn't crush any of the trailers.
Oh, yang itu ya. Yang putih.
It gets better. A local girl, Barbara Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They were lovers.
Or Jagger's a local spook story. The Scratching Hag comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little loopy, but she's not homeless or anything.
Yeah, anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane before they both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
Well, mister, this here's Rose's trailer. You mind me asking what you want with her?
We're just here to talk to her, pal.
Welcome to... Oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my manuscript?
Oh. Oh yes. Yes. Please, come in.
Hey, This is really good. Rose,
Yes.
my manuscript. I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me going.
I can't tell reality from dream anymore, but it seems I have an imaginary editor to help me. She's an old woman in a funeral dress. I call her Barbara Jagger. She's very strict. I'm writing faster and faster.
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What can I get you today? Coffee?
Than I do.
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me, and left its mark.
First refill is free. Milk and sugar on the counter there. Would you like to hear today?
My gun and flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get Barry into the car as quickly as possible. There was no time to waste.
Oh, gini. Turun. Turunin. Nah. I see.
Oh, you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl.
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Give it up, Mr. Wake. Come on. Take it easy on him. Don't let him get away. Move it.
Okay, men, keep your eyes peeled. He's gonna try to make it through here.
Which way did he go?
Move out.
Oh, damn.
And you.
I locked him. Oh, damn it, where'd he go?
guys. We need to head him off.
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
You on the ground. Hold it right there. There's nowhere to run. Freeze!
This is James. Mulligan, Thornton, come in. Over.
Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They didn't put up a fight or anything. Well, they were... Hey, come on. Sit down and give me that.
I could see the lights of the radio station in the distance.
Go ahead, Mulligan. Over.
We got Wheeler and Rose here. Wheeler's drunk or hopped up or something. Speaking of which, that Fed had a pretty distinctive whiff of Otis Scott about him, you know what I mean? Over. I don't have anything on that, Deputy Mulligan. Over. You better get Doc in and take a look. Over. Gotcha.
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine. Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light. There was no power to the searchlight. old generator conked out. I'd have to see if I could fix it and try again. Took me a moment.
So Alan Wake is a psychological thriller, and we are on this journey into Alan Wake's mind. And if we think about psycho thrillers, you know, there is always that question on, is this true? Is this really happening? Or is this part of the madness? And if it's madness, is nothing true. But obviously we are on this journey together with Wake, and he becomes... And so must we, because otherwise the things that we are fighting for are not really there.
Anjir, malah mati, Cok.
And here's another call. You're on KBF-FM with Pat Maine.
It's Milt Peabody, Pat.
What's on your mind, Milt?
Well, I live near the trailer park, Pat, and there's a big ruckus going on over there.
Well, that's just up the road from me, too. What's going on, do you know?
I don't know, but there's a bunch of police cars there.
big theme, obviously, in this thriller is fiction coming true. And a lot of effort from our part writing this was to think about what does that mean and what are the limits. Obviously, if we would have given Alan Wake godlike powers to just change reality on a whim, there would not have been much stakes in this.
Resources on those people. Well, they'll have to try to sort themselves out. I'm sorry, but my granddaddy settled in Bright Falls in 1911.
Well, thank you very much for that compassionate viewpoint, Lorna. Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in, folks. I'm gonna see if I can talk him into an interview.
I had no idea how to get to the coal mine. Maine would know, and I had a feeling I wouldn't get a chance to ask anyone else anytime soon.
Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Nowhere to run now.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills me. You hear me? You hear me, H.P. Lovecraft?
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a book.
Changing reality with his writing
good I hadn't had the chance to tell Maine
has to
where
be
I
a
was
struggle.
going. I'd have to lose the cops
It's
and find my
hard
own way to the mine.
for him. As writing a good story is hard for us. So there is this metaphor going on in this. And essentially what he can do is he can take existing elements and nudge them and tweak them. And in a similar way, I feel that story needs to feel true for it to be a good story.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills me. You hear me? You hear me?
So changing reality with his writing
so many cliffs, it was ridiculous.
has to be a struggle.
That's what you get for naming a book.
It's hard for him.
Good I hadn't had the chance
As
to tell Maine where I
writing
was
a
going.
good story
I'd have to lose the
is
cops
hard
and find my own
for
way to
us.
the mine.
So there is this metaphor going on in this. And essentially what he can do is he can take existing elements and nudge them and tweak them. And in a similar way, I feel that story needs to feel true for it to be a good story.
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
susah, cok.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan. Alan. I'm so afraid. He keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me. I could see a railway bridge up ahead, and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite
So
shore.
in the game, through these in-game television inserts, we learn about Alan Wake's writing process. How he was trapped in the study of Bertlek Capin and how he wrote the manuscript. And we learn that he becomes aware of the Dark Presence's plan and how he starts to hide hiding keys for his success into the story. I mean, hiding his truth and his escape, his ultimate victory into the story. And there is an interesting metaphor there about writing process in.
Sure. I hope
so in the game, through these in-game television inserts, we learn about Alan Wake's writing process, how he was trapped in the study of Bertlek cabin and how he wrote the manuscript. And we learn that he becomes aware of the Dark Presence's plan and how he starts to hide in keys for his success into the story. I mean, hiding his truth and his escape, his ultimate victory into the story. And there is an interesting metaphor there about writing process in general. So in the game, through these in-game television inserts, we learn about Alan Wake's writing process, how he was trapped in the study of Bertlek cabin and how he wrote the manuscript. And we learn that he becomes aware of the Dark Presence's plan and how he starts to hide in keys for his success into the story. I mean, hiding his truth and his escape, his ultimate victory into the story. And there is an interesting metaphor there about writing process in general.
As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story, certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Did you call 911?
Alan Wake hiding keys for his escape and his success into the manuscript story is a metaphor, or the writer who is writing story for entertainment with many needs coming in. We are hiding art into our stories, and this is kind of a nugget of wisdom from my drama teacher.
We take the facts of our existence for granted. We're merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a family occasion. Journalist Alan Durley's trip to study the local customs of Night Springs.
I had a couple of hours to get to the coal. Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch
So I've
at
been
straw.
asked a few times, like, how much is Alan Wake, Sam Lake as a writer? And my answer is not really at all. But there is a certain kind of a truth to the idea that there are, of course, we always draw from our own experience. And I think that surprisingly, a few of the Remedy games in some way are metaphors and commentaries on video game development.
Felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity. Even during daytime, I was being stalked. The bridge must have collapsed only moments after I'd crossed it.
This is Pat Main, and you're listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big shot.
Stories in our games as a metaphor of making video games. I mean, obviously, in these past 25 years, a considerable amount of my life has gone into making video games and thinking about video games and struggling with the process of making video games. So it's not a surprise that these elements sneak in. Alan Wake in particular is a lot about the process of writing a story and struggling with writing a story. I mean, obviously we see glimpses of him struggling with it and thinking about it. So it was... It's one of the reasons why this game is so close to my heart. Because as a writer and thinking about these things and then being able to use them as elements in the story felt exciting and felt interesting to me as a writer. Stories in our games as a metaphor of making video games. I mean, obviously, in these past 25 years, a considerable amount of my life has gone into making video games and thinking about video games and struggling with the process of making video games. So it's not a surprise that these elements sneak in. Alan Wake in particular is a lot about the process of writing a story and struggling with writing a story. I mean, obviously we see glimpses of him struggling with it and thinking about it. So it was... It's one of the reasons why this game is so close to my heart. Because as a writer and thinking about these things and then being able to use them as elements in the story felt exciting and felt interesting to me as a writer.
I didn't want to go out.
Oh, thank you, you guys. Yeah.